Hello everybody. I thought we would pop in for a short video tonight. Did some work today on this multi-pocket folio, and I tried it a couple different times and still ended up folding it upside down and cutting the wrong ones. So instead of trying to go through that and talk about how to do that, I'm going to send you over to Julie at Camilia Craft Designs to get the real tutorial about the right way to cut this. So my pocket sizes are off. All of it is different, but I will show you what I've done so far. So here in the front, we've got this journal card, and I did some stitching on it with the machine, some spot to write on the back. Oops, get that in there straight. And then on the front, in this pocket, this is one of the little ephemera pieces that came out of the Paper Studio pack that I've been working with. So added some distressed dyed fabric to the top of that, and then a couple little snippets, and added a eyelet here that we'll use to tie this all closed when we're done. This is the back, one extra pocket. Haven't started anything there yet. And when you open it up, you've got this pocket here in the fold, and then a couple of blank spots to work on. So in here, just used another one of the little snippets, added a small sticker, put some printed vellum underneath, and then just another small journal card with a little flower sticker and a place to write. So that'll go in here. Now, what I would like to keep working on tonight, I'm going to take this out because it does make it a little bulky. We've got two more spots to work on here. This here is a piece of a Tim Holtz backdrop that actually I had some other little doors almost that closed on there, but I didn't like how it was turning out, so I took those off. But I don't want to waste this piece, so this is a good example of how even if something isn't going just so, you can still use it in another project. So that'll go on one, and then when I first got my little envelope maker, I made a bunch of small envelopes. So I thought I'd pull one of those out and use that here. That way we'll go sideways. So we'll just jump right into it. I'm hoping to use, I've got a lot of the little snippets pulled out that I thought were very cute. Some little deer, some different flowers, lots of different pieces here that we can see if we can find a home for. So let's go ahead and start with inking up our edges. On this project, I'm using ground espresso, nice and dark. That on there, create some extra interest. It's gonna, I know the brown's pretty dark, but you can see that with the white polka dots, it really does show up. So we're good. Just that little bit of extra, little extra something. So do that. Thinking we can embellish the front a little bit with something a little brighter. Bring some more color in and see how that looks. silly. Let's just go ahead and do it the standard way. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And on this side as well. Oops. You wouldn't necessarily have to glue this side down. You could go, that's not going to go over. No, that's not. You could leave those open and have it just be a complete flip out. Would be another way to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hold that down. I think I want to put a pretty flower or something there, but I want to, let's get that stuck down first. Now, before we stick it down, shall we add a couple of little tags? I'm going to pull out the field notes snippets and see if we can find just a couple of cute little things that maybe we want to stick behind there or on top. I used a field label on the front, so I don't think we want to go with that. There's some mushrooms. That's cute. Little tree. Those might be a little too small. Get a couple here. We don't necessarily have to, put it far behind. Could just tuck it. One at the bottom, one couple up in that top corner perhaps. I think just a few. I think that's okay. Just a small amount to add just a little bit of something. It's been kind of a quiet day around here today. Not a lot going on. Still on my little extended Christmas to New Year's vacation from work. Go back on Tuesday. All right, let's go ahead. Stick this guy down on the bottom. I think it's okay to have, some of the pages. Didn't I have another one? Where on earth? I thought I had one. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. Oh, come on. I can't get a hold of it. Come on, come on, come on. It's okay to not have a super ton of stuff on each and every page. That's all right. So let's go ahead and stick this guy down. I don't want to lose our numbers because I think the little touch of red is nice. Try to make sure that's straight. Okay. And let's give ourselves a small tree right there. That works good. Then we'll decide. I'm okay if this is not perfectly centered, but do we want it to, oops, I gooped that up a little bit. Do we want it maybe to open, if we don't want it centered, I kind of feel like I want it to open that way. So let's go ahead and glue this down. If you want to use some double-sided tape, that's also an option. I always have my glue handy, so I tend to stick with my glue. I made the mistake of setting it on the side instead of leaving it turned the proper way upside down so that it flows well. Right. Let's put him right here. It's looking pretty straight. I'm just going to kind of rub around. Make sure I get a nice grip on that. I don't want him popping off. While we're holding that, let's see what we might want for some embellishment on that. We've got, those flowers are kind of pretty. Maybe a nice pink flower would look good there. Let's see, what are we doing here? Okay. All right, let's go. I've got some brighter, I've got some oranges and reds on the front. I'm thinking let's just go with the bright one. I don't use the bright colors very often. We will go ahead and use the bright one. Oh, and there's the dog asking for a little attention. And maybe, do we want something a little bit extra on here as well? Do have some stamp stickers here. We've got some flowers. We've got some butterflies. Let's see, is there anything that we like for this one? About just a touch of yellow. The teeniest, tiniest bit of ink on the edges. Probably not even necessary, but glue all over my fingers already, and so all over the back of my sticker. So let's put him, oh, yuck. Let's get that off. It's one thing to have it on the back of the sticker, something totally different to have it hanging out the side. Okay, so that's there. Now let's go ahead and glue this one down. The nice little pop of color here. And then we'll find something that we want to put on the inside. We'll end up with 3 different pockets on the inside as well. 3 different little areas to keep surprises. I do really like this little card, but that might be a little small. That might be, let's see, would that fit in there? Oh, it does. Let's do this. That's a cute little journal spot. So let's grab our ink so it doesn't look unfinished. Just a little something extra. I have kind of a difficult time of not going over the top with each and every little piece that I want to put in to a project like this, but I think it's okay if you have something that looks pretty that also goes with it. That I think it's okay to not go over the top with each and every single element. You know, could we stitch it? Could we add lace? We could, but I don't think it's 100% necessary all the time. If you want to, absolutely go for it. The other thing, you don't necessarily have to fill each and every pocket either. That can be something that the person that gets this at the end might want to do on their own. All right, let's see. We don't want to, I think we want to leave it like this, because if we don't, it will be upside down. What I do want to do though is see if we can get more off. Oops. Set that over there. I want to try to clean this up. If we can't, we can't, and we just won't use it. But I would like to try. I'm gonna grab a craft knife here and see if maybe we can get some more. Oops. Okay. Pay attention, Amber. Pay attention. All right. Let's see if we can clean up this edge at all. Try to not be in too big of a hurry. I'd rather go over it a couple of times than try to do it at once and create a problem. So let's see. Okay. That's not too bad. All right, that is smooth. Now let's go for this side. I'm holding it at a pretty steep angle here in an attempt to take just the white off. And it might be that this just won't work out, and that's okay too. But it only takes a few minutes to try. I love the backdrop papers, and I would really hate to waste any of them because they're so nice. well, that's just making a raggedy old mess. Let's not do it that way. Let's see if we can go in this way at an angle. So I'm not taking off the front. Okay, so what we might need to do here, I want to see if I can remove this pocket. And I'm going to do this. This is probably the most boring video. I could have done this beforehand and didn't even think about it. Let's see if I can get that off this way. Get a little bit longer blade so that I have some more wiggle room out here without my blade touching my cutting mat. So far, this looks like it might actually work. Perhaps I should have started with this way, because that is seeming to work better. Seriously, we totally should have started that way. Okay. All right, now what we do want to do is I still want a pocket on there, and I want to cover this up so that it doesn't look super messy. Let's go ahead and re-ink this. I'm going to re-ink that edge, so that if there's anything at all that's still hanging just a little bit rough, it will be covered. Okay. And not bright white. So what shall we use? Oh, isn't that pretty? Piece that I hadn't seen in there yet. Okay. Pay attention. We are going to pay attention. Now I do have this. It's cut off. I want to cover both though. Now we could do, I know, let's do this. Let's do a couple of diagonal pockets. And let's use the world piece, but not, let's start at the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark here so that we can cover up the white. And I'm going to mark here. Let's go a little bit past it. We can always trim. Let's go past. We'll go a little bit longer. And I am going to just cut a diagonal line. But I want a little bit of a straight line here at the bottom. So I'm going to start here and I'm just going to cut a diagonal line like that. So this will sit here. And then we're going to snip it right here. Straight as we can, hopefully. Okay, so that's going to be one pocket, and we're going to have another one going that direction. Now, do we want to use this? Sure, why not? Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to go right there. Now this one, it really doesn't matter. It can be any type of angle. It can be wider, it can be a steeper angle. Really doesn't matter because it's going to be underneath the other one. So I think I'll go a little steeper. Let me start and I'm going to go straight towards that. Now some of this is going to be covered. And some of that's going to get cut off. So this is what we are looking at for that. I think that's cute. So what I want to do is trim this on the back side. Bit shorter. Okay. We're going to ink this up. Folks moving out around in the hallway. All right, and this one this side, and it's okay if it doesn't go all the way to the edge because our other one will cover it up. I thought about gluing them together, but if we do that, then we're going to lose one of our pockets. So we want to glue here at the bottom. And up the side. Let's go ahead and stick this guy on here. I always really like it if I have something that doesn't quite turn out how I want, if I can find another space to, another something to use it on. One of the good reasons to, if something's not going the way you plan or the way you want it, set it aside. Don't immediately trash bin it because you might find that another thing will pop up where you can use it and be happy with how it's turning out. Okay, let's ink these guys. Got a little excited with my ink. That's okay. We just do. We just go and we do, and it's all right. Okay. So on this one, I want to make sure that I'm also gluing this side. I still can't get used to putting my glue over on the right hand side. I'm not really sure why. Okay. Let's go ahead and line up. And when you're doing something like this where you're putting a pocket by a fold, you want to make sure that you're above. I shouldn't move it around just yet, but you've got your score mark here and you want to make sure you're just a little above that so that you can still fold it and it will fold down and stay down without wrinkling up whatever you have in here. So what does this guy need? I think he needs more ink at the bottom. For sure. Don't know exactly at what point I stopped working on this, so it's been quite a long time ago, so I might just have not inked yet after I put on that little pocket. We'll see how long the dogs are gonna act like crazy lunatics, and we might just have to pause for a minute if they're not going to hush down. Sometimes it's only a minute, but sometimes they really get excited. Seems like maybe it's gonna be okay. All right. So let's go ahead. I don't think I want to put anything behind this because we're gonna have a good amount of stuff inside it this time. So do we want to do a little policy closure? I think that would be pretty cute. Let's grab a couple of circles. I went to town one day just with my little circle punch, just having a good old time. Some circles. That would be all right. This would be okay. There's a little pinkish. That would work. All right. We have enough immediate choices. Let's get those back out of the way here. Now let's see. Some of these, when I glued them down, they glued really well. I stuck them on a backing. Other ones, they seem to pull up. Those both seem okay. Huh? Maybe they're all okay. All right, well, we might be just fine. All right, so what we're gonna do, let's do this before we stick it in, just so we have a little bit easier time of it. So we're gonna do a policy closure on here. I've got my, just a piece of foam and I don't even know the right thing to call it, to see if your muffins are done. So we're gonna put our holes in, and what we do want to do is make sure that they're lined up straight. So what I want to do before I go to poking anything is I just want to make a quick, let's see how this new glass mat works at lining things up appropriately. Oh, look at that. So we are 3 and we want to go 1.5, so we want to go in the middle. We want to make sure that we have enough room for our little circles. So I'm going to say right about here and right about there. That should be okay. Yep, that'll be good. It's not a big deal if they're not exactly the same distance from the fold here. I'm okay with that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke my hole, and I just do it over the top of this foam. I'm going to poke. Oh, well, okay, so we're going to have to, we're going to be very lucky. Okay. It is above the pocket. Ideally, you would want this to be put in before you do a pocket. So we'll put that on there and we'll cover it up with a little butterfly or something. All right, now, roughly middle. Those holes, and we will go like this one. Let's go. Oh, that one is coming loose, right? And if it does come loose, you can just re-glue it. I just backed them to make them a little bit. Yep, it is. So we will just fix this as we go. This does happen. This is not the glue that I used on this. I don't even recall what glue it was. I think it was just regular school glue, but when I was working on these, I didn't have this glue handy, so we're gonna hold that down. Let's loosen that up just enough. It's stuck in that spot. But not everywhere. Okay. Now let's double check this one. When we start moving it around a little bit, is it going to pop off? That's usually when you can tell. Looks okay, and it looks like we're all the way to the edge, so I think we're good there. Wipe a little bit of the mess off my fingers, and then let's pick a couple little, whoa. Now, if this would have fallen on the floor, we would have been done for the night, because I would have been too busy crying. Let's see. We could do the gold, because it will show up nice against that yellow, although we've got our, you know what, let's just do silver. I don't think I have any other silver on here, so let's just be, we'll just be kind of all over the place, which is okay. Get out of our way before I drop it. And we'll take this guy. Now if you have, obviously if you're doing a larger brad, you can, you know, make that hole larger with a pencil, you know, the tip of a pencil, or I don't know, I suppose if you have an actual awl, that's what a lot of people use. Let me stick this guy in here. So I'm just going to pop him through. Spread that one out. Now let's grab this fella. And we'll do the same here. It's pink, but not too pink. So I think we're okay. All right. Now what we will do to close it up, let's see, we've got, do we want to pull in the smallest bit of pink? Yeah, we're going to use this to just tie in a bit of the pink from our flower. So what we do here is we're going to just slide it under and pull it close to the end, and we're going to tie a knot. I'm going to tie it all the way up, pull it tight against that brad. Okay, and then we just need enough to go through like this, and then we'll clip it. All right. Now you can leave this other one hanging. I always confuse myself about which piece is the one that wraps, so I like to cut this one shorter, because nobody wants to be confused by their little journal. That's a lot of pressure. Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna undo it so it will lay more flat as we're setting it down. I still can't believe how fast the time goes while we're doing this crafting. It's absolutely insane to me. Let's make sure we don't glue our string down. That would be annoying. And let's get it, let's see. That looks about correct. Side to side. Now, how is it top to bottom? I'm okay with that. It's not exactly centered. I think that I am okay with that. All right, now, while we are waiting for that to stick, we need to pick a couple things to hide our brads. We could go that. We could do a little flower. We could, let's see. We could grab something out of here. What's that? Steam packet. There's a number. Can't go wrong with number. Money order. It's like a game ticket. That's pretty cool. I don't want it too big. Not too big. Theater ticket. Go with some eggs. That fits with our theme of outdoors. That's kind of pretty. Let's see. That would have worked except for we used the little tiny one down there. There's a parcel post. We can always go, you know, back and pick from these ones that we made ourselves. All right, let's pick something out of those few things that we've pulled out. Got 2 to pick. Let's see. Don't think we need 2 different numbers. What if we have, that looks a little, oh, here, might be helpful if I come up. I don't really like the circle down there. We could do that, would work. And there comes the dogs. One moment. All right, we'll see how long they want to stay in here now. They'll probably stay in for 2 minutes and then bang on the door to go out, because why wouldn't they? All right. I think we should go with this. So let's go ahead and ink them up just a little. Don't gotta go too crazy. And ink this guy. He's kind of thin, but I think that'll be okay. It's big enough that it shouldn't pop up off the other sides, and it will cover it enough that it's not going to catch on anything. That's our biggest concern that we want to be careful of, is not catching anything that's going to go into the pocket on that brad. So let's go ahead and make sure that we get plenty. And I'm going to tuck it under. Make sure we're just about in the center there. That's pretty close. Okay. All right, I think that is good. Now let's do the top one. And then we will finish up by filling our pockets. I'm sure you can hear the dogs sniffing around, getting into all my stuff. Nosy, nosy dogs. All right. Let's stick that guy down. I'm gonna hold him up and press him. That brad on the other side keeps it from being pressed down too tightly on the actual desk. I'm just gonna... Okay, now let's put a few fun things inside. So what shall we do? I mentioned that I really like this and I think that will fit in there nicely. So let's just ink this guy up a touch. It'll be a small but still present area to do some writing if desired. We can put that there. How about, let's see, we've got stamps, we've got, I already used this on the front. It's not exactly the same. Let's put another flower in there, why not? Pretty cute, we can stick it that way. It's kind of nice with the colors. So, I'm just going to do a very small amount of inking because this could be something, when you give something like this as a gift, it's another thing that you can do is you know, have some loose things in here that maybe the person that you're giving it to might want to, you know, maybe they decide that they would really like it if this had a flower, and then they have that, oops, then they have that option to pull it out and put it there, or, you know, maybe they want a flower on their envelope, another flower on their envelope. It's coming up. I might have to, definitely have to re-glue that, and I'll do that. So it's certainly okay to have a couple of things just tucked in. Have this cute little book of flowers that I got Temu, I believe. Just grab a couple of these too. These are cute. And then they've got the regular paper ones. Let's get some of these little roses. Oh, come on, I don't want to rip it. All right, and these we can just tuck right in here as another little extra special something. So now we'll close this guy up. I hear you, doggy. Just a moment. That is Kelvin. Kelvin is a chit-chatter. Just a minute. Okay. So I think that gets us, and I will re-glue that, but I think that gets us done for our inside. And close this up. And it's getting a nice little bit of bulk to it. And then next time we'll either go here, here, or perhaps, well, where is it? Perhaps we will start on this other, the other failure at cutting properly, but we're going to make it work anyway example with the pretty butterflies that, yes, are completely upside down on the inside. but we're going to make it work. So thank you again for joining. I hope that your Friday evening into the weekend is going wonderful. Have a great relaxing weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye.